3 of Unfiltered Faith. Yesterday, we saw faith float through the flood. Today, we watch what happens when the water stops. A new start, a new promise, and eventually, a new mistake. Grab your NASB Bible and follow along as we read Genesis 8 through 11, from the rainbow to the tower. The flood subsides. Genesis 8. The flood subsides, but God remembered Noah and all the animals and all the livestock were with him in the ark, and God caused a wind to pass over the earth, and water subsided. Also the fountains of the deep and the floodgates of the sky were closed, and the rain from the sky was restrained, and the water receded steadily from the earth. And at the end of 150 days, the water decreased. Then in the 7th month, on the 17th day of the month, the ark rested upon the mountains of Ararat, and the water decreased steadily until the 10th month. In the 10th month, on the 1st day of the month, the tops of the mountains became visible. Then it came about at the end of 40 days that Noah opened the window of the ark which he had made, and he had sent out a raven, and it flew here and there until the water was dried up from the earth. Then he sent out a dove to see if the water was low on the surface of the land, but the dove found no resting place for the sole of its foot. So it returned to him in the ark, for the water was on the surface of all the earth. Then he put out his hand and took it and brought it into the ark himself. So he waited another 7 days longer, and again he sent out the dove from the ark. And the dove came to him in the evening, and behold, in its beak was a fresh olive leaf. So Noah knew that the water was low on the earth. And then he waited another 7 days longer and sent out the dove, but it did not return to him again. Now it came about in the 601st year, in the first month, on the first of the month, that the water was dried up from the earth. Then Noah removed the covering of the ark, and looked, and behold, the surface of the ground had dried up. And in the 2nd month, on the 27th day of the month, the earth was dry. Then God spoke to Noah, saying, Go out of the ark, and you and your wife and your sons' wives with you. Bring out with you every living thing of all the flesh that is with you, birds and animals, and every crawling thing that crawls on the earth, that they may breed abundantly on the earth, and be fruitful and multiply on the earth. So Noah went out, and his sons and his wife, and his sons' wives with him. Every animal, every crawling thing, every bird, everything that moves on the earth went out by their families from the ark. Then Noah built an altar to the Lord, and took some of every kind of clean animal, and some of every clean bird, and offered burnt offerings on the altar. The Lord smelled the soothing aroma, and the Lord said to himself, I will never again curse the ground on the account of man, for the intent of a man's heart is evil from its youth, and I will never again destroy every living thing as I have done. While the earth remains, seed time and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, and day and night shall not cease. Genesis 9. The covenant of the rainbow. Then God blessed Noah and his sons, and said to them, Be fruitful and multiply, and fill the earth. The fear of you and the terror of you will be on every animal of the earth, and on every bird of the sky, on everything that crawls on the ground, and on all the fish of the sea. They are handed over to you. Every moving thing that is alive shall be food for you. I have given everything to you, as I have gave the green plant. But you shall not eat flesh with its life, that is, its blood. I certainly will require your lifeblood. I certainly will require your lifeblood. From every animal I will require it, and from every person, from every man as his brother, I will require the life of a person. Whoever sheds human blood, by man his blood shall be shed. For in the image of God he made mankind. As for you, be fruitful and multiply. Populate the earth abundantly and multiply in it. Then God spoke to Noah and to his sons with him, saying, Now behold, I myself am establishing my covenant with you, with your descendants after you, and with every living creature that is with you, the birds, the livestock, and every animal of the earth with you. Of all that comes out of the ark, every animal of the earth, I establish my covenant with you, and all the flesh shall never again be eliminated by the waters of a flood, nor shall there be a flood to destroy the earth. God said, This is the sign of the covenant which I am making between me and you and every living creature that is with you for all future generations. I have set my rainbow in the cloud, and it shall serve as a sign of the covenant between me and the earth. It shall come about when I make a cloud appear over the earth, that the rainbow will be seen in the cloud, and I will remember my covenant, which is between me and you and every living creature of all flesh. And never again shall the water become a flood to destroy all flesh. When the rainbow is in the cloud, then I will look at it to remember the everlasting covenant between God and every living creature of all flesh that is on the earth. And God said to Noah, this is the sign of the covenant which I have established between me and all flesh that is on the earth. Now the sons of Noah who came out of the ark were Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And Ham was the father of Canaan. These three were the sons of Noah, and from these the whole earth was populated. Then Noah began farming and planted a vineyard. He drank some of the wine and became drunk, and uncovered himself inside his tent. Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father, and told these two brothers outside. But Shem and Japheth took a garment and laid it on both of their shoulders, and walked backward and covered the nakedness of their father, and their faces were turned away, so that they did not see their father's nakedness. When Noah awoke from his wine, he knew what his youngest son had done to him. So he said, Cursed be Canaan, a servant of servants. He shall be to his brothers. He also said, Bless the Lord, the God of Shem, and may Canaan be his servant. My God enlarge Japheth, and may he live in the tents of Shem, and may Canaan be his servant. Noah lived 350 years after the flood. So all the days of Noah were 950 years, and he died. Genesis 10. Descendants of Noah. Now these are the records of the generations of the sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and the sons were born to them after the flood. The sons of Japheth were Gomer and Magog, Madai, Javan, Tubal, Meshesh, and Tiras. And the sons of Gomer were Ashkenaz, Riphath, and Togarmah. The sons of Javan were Elisha, Tarnish, Kittim, and Dadiam. From these people of the coastland of the nations were separated into their lands, everyone according to his language, according to their families, into their nations. The son of Ham were Cush, Mizraim, Put, and Canaan. The sons of Cush were Seba, Havilah, Sabta, Ramah, and Sabteka. And the sons of Ramah were Sheba and Dedan. Now Cush fathered Nimrod. He became a mighty one of the earth. He was a mighty hunter before the Lord. Therefore it said, like Nimrod, a mighty hunter before the Lord. And the beginning of his kingdom was Babel, Erech, Akkad, and Calneh, in the land of Shinar. From that land he went to Assyria and built Nineveh and Rehoboth-ir and Calah and Risan between Nineveh and Calah, that is the great city. Mizraim fathered Ludim, Anamim, Lahabim, Naphtahim, Pathrasim, Kasaluhim, from whom came the Philistines, and Torim. Canaan fathered Sidon, his firstborn, and Heth, and Jebusite, and the Amorite, and the Girgashite, and the Hivite, and the Arkite, and the Sinite, and the Arvadite, and the Zemarite, and the Hamathite. And afterward the families of the Canaanite were spread abroad. The territory of the Canaanite extended from Sidon, going towards Gerar, as far as Gaza, and going towards Sodom and Sodom and Gomorrah, Admah and Zeboim, as far as Lasha. These were the sons of Ham according to the families, according to their languages, by their lands, and by their nations. Also to Shem, the father of all the children of Eber, and the older brother Japheth, where children were born. The sons of Shem were Elam, Ashur, Arpachshad, Lud, Aram. The sons of Aram were Uz, Hul, Gether, and Mash. Apakshad fathered Shelah, and Shelah fathered Eber. 2 sons were born to Eber, the name of whose were Peleg, and his days the earth was divided, and his brother's name was Joktan. Joktan fathered Almadad, Sheleph, Hazarmetheth, Jerah, Hadaram, Uzal, Diklah, Obal, Abidmiel, Sheba, Ophir, Havilah, and Jobab. All of these were the sons of Joktan. Now their settlement extended from Mesha going towards Sephar, the hill country of the east. These are the sons of Shem according to their families, according to their languages, by their lands, and according to their nations. These are the families of the sons of Noah, according to their descendants, by their nations, and out of these nations were separated on the earth after the flood. Genesis 11, the Tower of Babel. Now all the earth used the same language and the same words, and it came about as journeyed east, that they found a plain in the summer in the land of Shinar and settled there. Then they said to one another, "Come, let's make bricks and fire them thoroughly, and then use the brick for stone." And they used tar for mortar, and then they said, "Come, let's build ourselves a city, a tower whose top will reach into the heaven, and let's make a name for ourselves. Otherwise, we will be scattered abroad all over the face of the earth." Now the Lord came down to see the city and the tower which the men had built. And the Lord said, "Behold, they are one people, and they have all have the same language, and this is what they have started to do. And now nothing which they plan to do will be impossible for them. Come, let us go down there and confuse their language, so they will not understand understand one another's speech." So the Lord scattered them abroad from there all over the face of the earth, and they stopped building the city. Therefore it was named Babel, because the Lord confused the language of all the earth. And from there the Lord scattered them abroad all over the face of the earth. Descendants of Shem. These are the records of the generations of Shem. Shem was 100 years old when he fathered Arpachshad. 2 years after the flood, and Shem lived 500 years after he fathered Arpachshad. And then he fathered other sons and daughters. Arpachshad lived 35 years and fathered Shelah. Arpachshad lived 403 years after he fathered Shelah, and fathered other sons and daughters. Shelah lived 30 years and fathered Eber. And Shelah lived 403 years after he fathered Eber, and he fathered other sons and daughters. Eber lived 34 years and fathered Peleg. And Eber lived 430 years after he fathered Peleg, and fathered other sons and daughters. Peleg lived 30 years and fathered Reu. And Peleg lived 209 years after he fathered Reu, and fathered other sons and daughters. Reu lived 32 years and fathered Serug. And Reu lived 207 years after he fathered Serug, and he fathered other sons and daughters. Serug lived 30 years and fathered Nahor, and Serug lived 200 years after he fathered Nahor. He fathered other sons and daughters. Nahor lived 29 years and fathered Terah, and Nahor lived 119 years after he fathered Terah, and he fathered other sons and daughters. Terah lived 70 years and fathered Abram, Nahor, and Haran. Now these are the records of the generations of Terah. Terah fathered Abram, Nahor, and Haran fathered Lot. Haran died during the lifetime of his father Terah in the land of his birth, in Ur of the Chaldeans. Abram and Nahor took wives for themselves, and the name of Abram's wife was Sarai, and the name of Nahor's wife was Milcah. And the daughter of Haran and the father of Milcah and Iscah, Sarai was unable to conceive. She did not have a child. Now Terah took his son Abram and Lot, and the son of Haran, his grandson, and his daughter-in-law Sarai, and his son Abram's wife, and they departed together from Ur on the Chaldeans to go to the land of Canaan. And they went as far as Haran and settled there. The days of Terah were 205 years, and Terah died in Haran. So, reflections and talking points after the reading. Number 1, God keeps his word. The flood ends exactly when he says it will, and the rainbow is proof that God never forgets a promise. Number 2, a new start, the same human problem. Noah obeyed God and then later failed him. It's a reminder that even the most faithful people still need grace. Number 3, unity can go wrong without obedience. At Babel, everyone worked together, but for the wrong reason. They wanted a name for themselves instead of honoring God. Number 4, God redirects our plans for his purpose. So once they wanted to make a name for themselves, instead of honoring him, he took them and scattered them. Scattering the people wasn't punishment enough as protection, and kept his story moving forward. So he scattered them and confused their language. And then he redirected our plans for his purpose. So when God gives you a fresh start, don't bring an old sin with you. Thank him for the promises that still stand when the storm ends, and stay humble when you succeed. Build for his name, not yours. The cross references for this reading is going to be Genesis 9:12 through 17, God's covenant with Noah and the rainbow. It's going to be Romans 3, verse 23 through 24. All have sinned, but grace remains. And then one more cross reference is going to be James 4, verse 6. God resists the proud, but gives grace to the humble. Again, every storm ends, but the covenant stays. So don't waste your second chance building a tower for yourself when you could be walking with God who saved you. Again, this is Alan Lawson with Unfiltered Faith. Real scripture, real talk, no filters. Subscribe to my podcast so we can continue these episodes. Thanks, and appreciate your time. Later. Till tomorrow.